So hello, everybody, and welcome to the first panel of the day. Today, we're going to be talking about success stories of working with Palestinian talent. First, though, Marwan is going to share a video with everybody. So hold on, power to you, Marwan.
Hi, I'm Mais, one of Anira RBK's program graduates in Amman, cohort 7. I went to the boot camp right after I finished my first year in college. Neither I had that much experience in life nor in my field of study, which is software engineering. I grew up in these 4 months as they were for years, actually. The way that I'm looking to things in my life has changed. The value that I'm giving to my time has increased. Like comparing the things that I've done with these intense 4 months with the things that I'm usually doing in 4 months makes me feel and believe that I can do more and more in my time. And that was an incredible experience, actually. I've learned how I can hold the responsibility, and my English and my writing and my programming skills have improved. And last but not least, I'm really grateful that I'm able now to work while I'm studying, and not actually any work. I'm working on my field of study, which helps me getting more experience in my field. And thank you, Anita, for the opportunity.
Great, thank you for sharing that with us, Marwan. Anira is one of our sponsors, and you guys will have the chance to hear from their CEO, Sean Carroll, in the next panel. So today we're going to start with, we have a wonderful panel of speakers lined up for you today. I'm really excited about, I just want to,
video.
Sorry? Oh, sorry, one more video. My apologies, one more video.
You are the orchestra leader of your business or organization. You are an author, chef, physician, dentist, real estate agent, or an organization leader. You are in it for success and doing what you love, but you don't have the time to learn marketing skills and need to focus on your business and customers. Who are we? Think of us as an extension of your business or organization. We are your marketing team without the cost of hiring employees and dealing with the hassle. We are experts digital marketers who care about your business and its success. We give you exactly what you need to grow your business without the unnecessary extras. Web design and development, social media marketing, email marketing, online reputation management, search engine optimization, online advertising, video editing, branding and graphic design, printing, print and digital signage. You run your business and let us be your worry-free marketing agency. It doesn't have to be costly. It has to be effective.
All right, it's all yours, Leila.
Okay, apologies about that. So those are videos from our sponsors and event organizers, and thank you for sharing those with us, Marwan. So today I want to start out with Hatham Sahuri. I had an amazing conversation with him. I came away from my conversation with him feeling so inspired and awed by all the work that he's done. He tells a really shining story of Palestinian, teams in Palestine that he's worked with that have been a huge success. So without further ado, I'll let him talk. Hatham, I'm going to read a little intro and then he can take it away. So Hatham Sahuri has been with Medcore since 1991, serving as the CIO and Vice President of Information Systems. Sahuri is responsible for all systems and related department functions at Medcore. He has experience in application development, database design, and system administration. He teaches programming and database design to senior level students at Roosevelt University. In 2007, Sahuri established iConnect, a software development and outsourcing company with offices in Ramallah. And today he will share some of that journey with us. Thank you so much, Hatham, for being here today. Thank you for your time, and take it away.
Thank you, Laila. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. And we appreciate you joining us for this presentation. Great work Layla and everybody involved. This is, sorely needed. There's a lot of talent and a lot of technology that could come out of Palestine, not just from Allah, Nablus, Beit Lahem, Khalil, all around. There is a ton of talent, and it's just, it's greatly untapped. Like Layla said, we established iConnect in 2007, and I'll try to take you through the story of iConnect, the whys and the hows. But I want to start with a video of what can we do, at iConnect. So I'm going to play a 3-minute video, which is actually an ad for, I work for a company called Medcore. We're a healthcare company providing healthcare services to large employers. And I'll share with you some of those, who those clients are. So this is an ad that we created, but I want you to pay attention to the technology in the ad, and then I'll talk about it. Let me see if I could get this. I'm gonna share Chrome tab. I'm gonna share this and share audio. Can you see my screen?
Medcore's Trusted Entry Screening System. Medcore helps employers keep COVID-19 out of their work sites while making sure healthy employees get in. Medcore has successfully conducted millions of COVID screens at work sites across the United States and Canada. That experience has taught us both the challenges and the best practices of COVID screening. The data is clear. Screening for fever alone misses the majority of potentially infectious cases. Screening for symptoms and exposure takes time. Keeping up with CDC changes is a constant challenge. Documenting for compliance requires secure and consistent systems, and having enough screeners for peak times, especially shift changes, is very expensive. All these challenges are solved by Medcore's Trusted Entry kiosks and mobile app. These freestanding kiosks for worksite entryways are simple, practical, and reliable. Here's a look at how Medcore's Trusted Entry kiosks and mobile app are being used to keep COVID-19 out of work sites today. Employees complete symptom questions privately on mobile app before leaving for work. The app directs employees how to proceed based on their reported symptoms. Employees with COVID symptoms receive a red screen and do not go to work. The app can provide client-specific information for follow-up. Employees without symptoms receive a gold screen and can proceed to work. A gold screen allows employees to be cleared faster at the worksite. The employee approaches Medcore's Trusted Entry kiosk. The kiosk camera detects when someone approaches. An infrared thermometer automatically scans their temperature. By scanning the app's gold screen, the system combines symptom results with their temperature. If the employee passes the screen, their phone turns green, and this provides evidence of their screening. Multiple employees are screened fast. Here's how long it takes, in real time. Employees who have already been cleared with a green screen can re-enter without further screening until the end of their shift. Users without the app can complete their symptoms check at the kiosk too. The infrared thermometer scans the employee's temperature automatically while the symptoms check is completed. If an employee's temp is too high, they can be alerted not to enter pending further evaluation. Trusted Entry kiosks are effective in many settings.
Okay, so why did I show this video? Did it come across clear? Okay, so all the technology that you saw in that ad, all of it except for the infrared thermometer, which comes from China, everything else was developed in Palestine. Tablets, tablet applications, the handheld applications, the systems behind that, This is a very advanced kiosk. This technology has been used over 4 million times since the beginning of COVID. We had a solution for COVID screening 2 weeks after COVID started. Our developers at iConnect have been working from home since the end of March. This was all done with the offices in Ramallah closed. And all this technology was designed, architectured, and built in Ramallah. I have no developers that work on this in the United States. So this is just a small portion of the capabilities that we have in development in Palestine. There is a lot more. iConnect was founded in 2007. Prior to that, I used to do my software development in India. And while they do a decent job, it's a huge challenge. Outsourcing is not easy, and especially to places like India and East Asia, because most of the really good developers in India are used by Apple and Dell. And for us as a small business, we have about 2,000 employees. Medcore is not a very large business. We cannot afford to pay the rates and find the developers that we need. So in 2007, I was just like every other Palestinian. I grew up in Palestine, and I, moved to the United States to go to school, and I, ended up and I staying here. So, but as you know, every couple of years we go back for the summer, and that's when I discovered that there is talent that could be used in Palestine, and decided, let's give it a shot. So I hired one person and put him in an office and say, show me what you could do. And, he proved that he has the knowledge and the experience to work with us. Fast forward to 2020 or 2021, we have about 40 developers. They do work mostly for Medcore, but they do work for other clients too. Our clients ranged from from Europe and the Netherlands, for a company that ended up being bought by Boeing. We have clients in the United States. The systems that are developed by iConnect for Medcore are currently being used at thousands of companies in the United States, ranging from the Park Service in the United States to Hollywood studios to retail. I mean, if I showed you the list of clients that Medcore has, you'd be amazed. The Super Bowl, all the screening and the testing during the Super Bowl was done by us based on technology that was created at iConnect. So if you want staff augmentation, just pure staff augmentation, my recommendation is you'll find it in Palestine, but it's a wasted talent. They do a lot more than staff augmentation. When we first started iConnect and we hired the developers out there, the idea was we do the design, we do the architecture of the United States, we send it there, and it becomes just kind of a code shop. And very quickly, I discovered that they were, kind of smirking behind my back when I send them the design, because we thought we do things better here, and they just write the code for us. And, in a polite way, like new graduates do, they're trying to tell me, hey, this is okay, but it's kind of stupid. We have a better design for you. And initially, obviously, we resisted. And then I thought, well, Lyle, show me what you could do. And it is amazing. It is unbelievable that the quality of work and the dedication and the loyalty that you're going to get from your developers out there is unmatched. It is unbelievable. We have telemedicine systems created in Palestine. We have EMRs, electronic medical records, created in Palestine. We have mobile apps. We have business intelligence dashboards, you name it. You just ask for it and they create it. And it got to the point where I don't put design specs anymore. I meet with the team and I say, here's what I'm thinking. Literally, that's all I say. Here's what I'm thinking. What can you come up with? And every single time they've given me what I want and always gone a couple of feet further. And for us, it's been a very, very successful experience. Medcore, like I said, is a smaller company, but we deal with very large employers. We deal with large insurance companies, pharmaceuticals, Novartis and Bayer, the U.S. government. We deal with Hollywood studios, all the movies you've seen probably in the past 20 years that are filmed at, Warner Brothers, Paramount Studios, Universal Studios, and Fox Studios. The clinics, the hospitals, backstage where the films are being made are staffed by Medcore using iConnect technology. So that makes me proud. The fact that all this work was done in Palestine is something that we're proud of, and we think there is a lot more capability there. When we go out recruiting for one position, we get 150 resumes. Not all qualified, but at least 75 of them are. And so there's still a lot of talent out there that is waiting to be used. And some of the challenges, and we could talk about that. I don't know what my time is, Leila. I could tell you some of the challenges that we faced, and some of the challenges that new startups in Palestine are going to face. iConnect is not the only company out in Palestine that does software development. There are several very qualified, working with Microsoft and working with Cisco and working with large technology companies. There are challenges. Selling Palestine is a mission. It's a missionary sell. If you're in India and you're doing outsourcing, you go out there and you say, I'm from India, and people just have that in the back of their mind. Oh yeah, that's where people do software development. Not in Palestine. With Palestine, you have to sell Palestine first, and that's a missionary sell. You have to make them believe that, yes, you can outsource to Palestine. And then once you've done that, then you have to prove yourself to say, my Palestinian developers are as capable or more capable than the Indian or the Russians or the Ukrainians or the Argentinians. The competition is high. The salaries in Palestine are higher than Eastern Europe. So if you're doing staff augmentation, it's a big challenge. The competition is not easy. You get them cheaper in Eastern Europe, and they're very capable in Eastern Europe. So how do we do this? Why did this work with me? Because nobody had to sell me on Palestine. I was sold on it. Yeah, I was in the bag. I didn't need to be sold on Palestine. I looked at the talent, and it was there, and it was obvious, and I was able to use it. I had to convince my board and my executive team. It really didn't take too long. After we created the first product, they were fully on board, and now iConnect is the development arm for us. No matter what we need, iConnect is there, helping, again, large retailers from, Target to Albertsons to, the San Diego Zoo. iConnect created a telemedicine solution for the San Diego Zoo to treat elephants in Kenya remotely. And we're talking high technology, using the latest technology. They do amazing work. There's a lot more that I could show, but I don't want to take all the time. So I'll open up the door and answer questions hopefully later. There's a lot more to talk about, and but I want to give Tony and Masoud a chance to kind of show off their wares too.
Thank you so much, Hatham. Really appreciate that. I love the story. I love that, you have all these cutting edge technologies that your Palestinian teams are working on. I especially think it's very interesting with all the new COVID stuff going on and the Super Bowl. And it's amazing to think that all of that was created and drafted and made in Palestine. So thank you for that. And we are going to have some question and answers at the end. So please hang around. Also, if, I should have said this at the beginning, but if you're not speaking, if you can mute so we don't get any back echo. So next I'm going to go to Masoud. Masoud Yunus is an entrepreneur and global digital transformation leader with special focus on emerging technologies, AI and blockchain. Masoud's professional experience spans across business architecture, artificial intelligence, product management, and global tech mergers and acquisitions. Masoud, we're so happy to have you with us here today. Thank you for sharing some of your time with us. And we would love to hear your journey. I know that you've worked with from Palestinians as remote employees. So we'd love to hear a bit about that experience and what you have to say about it.
Leila, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, yes. There is, if you're watching this on another screen, there is a little bit of a lag, so that might be part of the problem.
So I'll get started. Hopefully, if you guys can't hear me, please raise your hand and let me know. So first of all, Assalamu alaikum, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on where you are located at this time. Super excited to be part of USPalTech Expo today. Company of Hatham and Tony and Leila, all three of absolutely great story, Hatham, really inspiring. There's a lot of work going on in telemedicine across the world, and then I think seeing some success stories, some that you shared, are truly amazing. My background, and I'll do a quick introduction here too. I've been in the industry for about 20 years, and more recently, over the past couple of years, I've started doing some of my own product development as well. Right now, I'm actually heavily engaged on developing voice applications using Amazon Alexa, as well as some other applications too, because that's something that I've done professionally too. Then I'm also dabbling into an augmented reality startup at this time too, that is basically upcoming, and we will have our product. We have a beta product ready. We are currently working with a couple of potential customers to bring it to market. So over the next couple of months, we'll actually bring that product out in the market as well. I'm also quite active with the entrepreneur as well as innovation and startup acceleration in Pakistan, because I'm primarily Pakistani origin. And then telemedicine is actually making a lot of impact out in Pakistan and rest of the world as well. So where I basically got engaged with the Palestinian tech talent basically is, I have a couple of friends here based in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I'm based out of, who decided to actually move back to Palestine and then support the economy there and support the talent there, and then be there for them. Last year I was looking for for a couple of talented resources to actually help me develop an Alexa application. And this friend of ours basically introduced us to a couple of youngsters or who are still in school. Actually, they're still doing their undergrad, and said, hey, they're looking for an internship, nothing special, if there's something that you can help out with or you could be interested in, I can make introductions. And he made introductions and things happened from there. And then if you guys allow me, I'm actually going to do a quick live demonstration of what those two individuals actually built. It will just take about 30 seconds. Echo. Open Voyager Travel Planner.
I can create a trip itinerary for New York, San Francisco, Miami, or Hyderabad.
Create an itinerary for New York from March 5th to March 10th.
Is this trip personal, professional, or both?
Personal.
Got it. Who is traveling?
Just myself.
Please confirm. Your personal itinerary is for New York from March 5th, 2021 to March 10th, 2021?
Yes.
Is the number of travelers 1?
Yes.
Your itinerary is ready for New York. Please say your phone number so I can send you trip itinerary.
612-326-4090.
Sorry, I don't know about that. Please try creating your itinerary again.
So I'll skip the itinerary part, but I hope you guys caught all the narrative and the transcript, right? This entire experience was actually developed in Palestine. And what it does is basically, we all travel a lot, right? And then when we are traveling, what do? We basically, the first thing we do is like, okay, let's pick a destination. Let's go to, Jerusalem, for example, or Istanbul, or, New York, or whatnot. Let's pick a destination, and then we go online and we basically start searching for different places, right? And then we eventually figure out what our 3-day trip will look like. So what we are doing with this application is basically taking that thinking out of the process. So if you basically call out during a weekday as your travel as your travel date, the application will automatically, using some machine learning algorithms, will figure out that what things can be done during the weekdays. What are the basically top things to do for tourists during the weekdays New York. And then if you call out weekend, it will basically adjust your itinerary or give you a draft travel itinerary for those days. So there's a lot more to this whole process as well, but Alexa is basically the interface how you do it. And the goal here basically was every fifth person in America has an Alexa device, has an Echo device one way or the other. And then that means that at least 100 million, 100 million people probably have access to Alexa today. If we can capture about 1% of that market, awesome and amazing. So this whole experience was basically developed by these two developers who are in their undergrad. And then I was supremely impressed by their cadence, by their discipline, by their skill, as well as attention to details. I don't have to, I've worked with the remote teams, widely over the past many years too. And it turned out that, you basically inform, these resources that I had. You just have an interaction with them once or twice. And they gather the requirements pretty quickly. They turn it around pretty quickly as well. And even after the internship was done, they're still engaged with us on the project, so that if there's anything they can help out with or they can engage with, totally on a pro bono basis. And our focus is basically to turn that engagement into a formal engagement with them as soon as we basically take it to the market and have our monetization engines plugged in. We'll basically turn this into a formal paid gig for them too. And that basically opened up additional opportunities for us too, because I'm really big into voice experiences. This is just one snippet of what I've been doing or my team has been doing. But my experience has not less than awesome or excellent with our resources down in Palestine. And just for the record too, this is the first time we have done a public or a live demonstration of this application. And I think it was well deserved because of the expo or the summit that we're in today. I'll take a pause there and see if anyone has any questions on the team.
Okay, Masood, thank you so much. I love hearing that story. Please go ahead and mute yourself since we're not going to talk right now, and then we're going to do question and answers at the end. Our next speaker is Tony Habash. Also very honored to have him with us here today. Him and I connected a few years back. Oh, Tony, you should unmute yourself now. Thank you. So him and I connected a few years ago when I learned about his work with Transcend, and he's going to share a bit of that journey with us today. Tony Habash is the Chief Business Integration Officer and Chief Information Officer at the American Psychological Association. As the CBIO, he oversees the digital services and user experience across APA, seeks to integrate the operational process of APA through process enhancements, oversees APA data initiative and business intelligence, and drives innovation and products and services that serve the APA mission. As CIO, he is responsible for APA's information technology strategy and operations, including all core business systems development, web platform strategy, APA publishing systems, and solutions and technology enablement across APA. Before joining APA in 2007, Habash spent 15 years at the AARP as its Director of Information Technology Strategy and Planning. He was responsible for directing IT strategy and implementation across the organization. Tony, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for sharing that time with us. You sound like you have a big job description. So go ahead and take it away and let us know tell us a bit about your story and your journey in working with teams from Palestine.
My pleasure. Thank you, Layla. And a pleasure to be on this panel with Hatham and Masood. And thank you and everybody who made this event happen. It's absolutely a step in the right direction. I'm excited to be part of it. Is there a way I can share the slides, Layla? Share directly from here? Can you see the slides? Oh, there you go. You can see that? Okay. So what I want to share with you, our experience with this, with the successful model of doing offshore work from the US to Palestine, and the experience we went through and what we learned and what worked for us. So a little bit about the American Psychological Association. I work with for American Psychological Association. It's an organization around 130 years old. It's the largest psychology entity in the US. with membership of 122,000. The revenue is rooted in our scientific publishing business. We have a full spectrum scientific publishing and platform solutions that we offer to around 7,000 universities globally, pretty much on every continent. The revenue from our publishing business goes to empower our programs related to the nonprofit side. The mission of APA is to bring the understanding of psychological science to solve real problems globally. So we're involved from anything from the global warming to the race debate in the US to the how to help people get vaccinated, anything that have a behavior science component to it. And lately we're doing a lot of work around the intersection of AI and human interaction. And we do the work through different strategic focus areas. Some of them are mentioned on the screen. But the goal is to translate psychology science to benefit society at large. And on the technology organization at APA, we serve the entire organization. We really focus on how do we do work more effectively, and how do we bring innovation to our customers, market, and the society at large. And we do a lot of work through very close partnership internally within the organization. And our journey with the talent in Palestine started really around 7 years ago. With the Transcend, I see Jerry Marshall on the attendance. So we worked with the company to start the concept around. We wanted to explore a research and development lab in Palestine. This is the time we were pushing several new products and platforms where we're in the early stage of innovation. So we started with a very small team doing R&D, trying to prove concepts, trying to do exploration of it. And very quickly, we start to see that there is a lot of potential to scale that. So we kept the research arm, and we start adding capability and talent to the mix. And over the years, the team grew to include quite a diverse talent in terms of skill set, from high-end architect to different developers. We do a lot of work with Salesforce. We do a lot of work with the data. And so we have, and with the different web platforms, we have teams that joined us into from all these capability. A few years back, we pivoted all the work around an agile structure. We have 19 product teams, and we have talent from Palestine joining several of those teams as a core part of it. And some of the work they've been doing in the last few years allowed us to really push a lot of innovation in the market. We actually solved some problems in scientific publishing that hasn't been done before. Our products that was developed with Palestine are now in 7,000 universities globally, have been accessed more than 100 million times last year alone. And we continue to see the numbers scaling up. Just like what Hatham mentioned, I think this is really seems to be a common thread. I think our experience in Palestine has been unique in the sense that it's not only highly skilled people. We do actually offshore work with several countries right now, and Palestine is one of them. Our experience with Palestine has been consistent around not only the competency and the technical talent, but the drive to continuously learn and explore and grow. We see that in every single staff, every single person working with us from Palestine. And the deep vested interest in understanding the products we're building and be part of the innovation side. So just like what Hatham mentioned, this has really been our experience, is we work with the team to understand, to help understand the vision for the product, and they are deep part of extending options and ideas and solutions to make the product better, to grow new capability. Sorry about that. So some of our more complex work in the last 5 years in terms of functionality has been developed in collaboration with the talent in Palestine in a very successful way. We delivered 2 new products in the market in the last 2 years as a platform service to help with academic writer, scientific writing as a teaching tool for institutions. A lot of the innovation in that product has been actually developed from the core, developed in Palestine. To try to sum up just a couple of the things that drive us into the what we learn and guiding principle that used to be very effective for us is we focused a lot on the finding the right talent in Palestine, but also that fits with the team culture and how we operate and how we function as a process. We invest a lot of energy in making sure the processes between the extended teams all over the world that works on a product is consistent, and we really value development as a practice, continuous development for our staff in DC, for all our extended team in different countries and Palestine included. And during our experience, the team in Palestine continue to achieve new credentials, new certificates. Several of them has got their graduate degrees while working with us. And actually several of them has graduated and pursuing their doctoral work right now in US. So that's a testimony to the caliber of the team we're talking about. I am a strong believer in the future of IT services in Palestine. There's a tremendous potential. This has been clear from a study back in 2013 when it showed the thousands of people that have the skills in computer science, computer engineering, and work opportunity has been limited. The idea of opening Palestine through this kind of model is something that I think has deep potential for the country and for delivering value globally. I think the 3 ingredients that is important in Palestine is the current availability of talent, the continuous paying attention to the higher education institutions expanding the computer related programs. That is happening. We see programs from the north to the south of Palestine in that direction. And the experiences like what Masoud mentioned and Hatham and others going to be talking about today, all these experiments, individual work that has approved the different models for doing work with Palestine will continue to build the brand, continue to position Palestine as a destination. It is a stigma as a name until people experience it. And once people experience it, it becomes an easy sell, because at the end of the day, it's really about the talent and the ability to deliver. And we're certainly a believer in that. And we've seen that outcome happening. I will challenge the community at large. Anybody who has a stake in that or is working in that field, we have to continue to build the pipeline intentionally based on the skill set that is needed. And that is there's a lot of positive aspects in that regard already happening. I think we all have a major role in continue to scale the model. I see no reason that in a few years the technology model in Palestine cannot be employing tens of thousands of people with fairly high-paying jobs and participate much bigger in the economy at large. And any work we can continue to do toward building the brand Palestine IT as a destination for quality, for competent skill set, and in many ways competes economically with the rest of the world on the offshore model. That's where we are. We are really looking forward to continue to expand the model. I am personally looking forward to help in any way I can to scale and position this, not just at APE, but at large. And let me stop here and back to you, Layla.
Thank you so much for that, Tony. I really appreciate all of you guys today and your time. A common thread I'm hearing, right, is quality talent available in Palestine, that we just really need to make sure that we all can work together to make more of those connections happen. I am going to look in the chat now for some questions. I'm going to start actually with one question myself first, and this is to all three of you. I'm curious about, what kind of resistance did you get from other people in your company who maybe were hesitant to work with Palestine or to work with Palestinians, and how did you overcome that? So you may have been sold on Palestine because you're Palestinians and you know Palestine, and you know that most Palestinians are wicked smart, right? But the question is, how did you get other people on board or to get past that hurdle?
I'll that first. Then, really, for me, I took the CEO on a trip to Palestine, and really, that is all it took. That stigma like that Tony talked about. Now, I know that's not easy to do. He happens to be. I've worked with the company. I've known him. We had to sell the board on it and say, hey, let's just start small and take a chance at it. So there's a trust factor, but it clicked. We went from this is an experiment to this is going to be our destination. I took the CEO on a trip, and once you walk the streets of Ramallah, you realize this is the vibrant city. A lot of young people walking around, and then I took him to Bir Zayt, and he's walking around in Bir Zayt, the campus, and he looked around and said, "This is amazing." I said, "What?" He says, "This is not any different from any major university in the U.S. If you walk Bir Zayt or Najah or any of the universities, there are just young people. There are a ton of young people in Palestine. Everywhere you look, just young people walking around, and the university just full of talented people." And so once he saw that, the deal was signed. He's been there several times back to Palestine. You get that Palestine bug. Once you have some team, man, you're done. That's it. So to me, that's it. Try to organize a trip. If you can do that, that will shortcut the system for you, because they get to meet the people. They get to see that this is not what you see on, 24 or any of the other Hollywood shows. It's actually, it's vibrant. There are, the people are very nice. They speak English. It's no different than walking the streets or the campuses of any American city or university.
Yeah, I second that. I mean, for us, it started with, let's prove the concept on one idea. And the team, we hired there a couple extremely brilliant doctoral level people. They delivered the first proof of concept on an idea we had. And from there, it's all about value. So it's really a delivery mechanic. So it sold itself very quickly, to be honest. And people understand, just like Hatham mentioned, as long as you follow the right talent, that's the main ingredient in the mix. The trip I make each year before COVID, at least, to Palestine has been the most rewarding. Spending a couple of days with the team on roadmaps for the future. I look forward to that every year, and I love the idea of bringing more people to visit. We send the president. Are you getting an echo? We sent the president of PPE to Bethlehem a few years ago. Came extremely encouraged by the situation. So I think the delivery sells itself over time.
I don't have any different experiences. Sorry, Lala, if you are speaking, you're on mute.
That's funny. I muted you because of the echo, and then I'm on mute. Okay. Did you want to add anything, Masood, there?
Well, I would just say that, I was born and raised in Abu Dhabi, so I'm very familiar with the Arab culture and the rest of our communities as well, right? So I'm very comfortable. I obviously have not had any tech level interaction or engagement with Palestine before, but a couple, there are people on my team who are, my team right now is about 8 people, and it's globally dispersed, right? But no one has actually have heard about Palestinian tech talent before. So it was quite an interesting journey for many other folks as well. But I think the speed of delivery, the quality of delivery, and then the engagement discipline. They're always like a couple of minutes ahead of the meeting. They're always there. They're always one of the first people into the meeting, and all those two. That discipline and that delivery was just very impressive. I personally myself was very impressed.
Common thread here is that once you get in the door, the Palestinian teams sell themselves. So that's great to hear. I'm going to go to a couple of questions we've got in the chat. So Marwan Ahmed is asking, what are the economic advantages of outsourcing tech work to Palestine? So some of you mentioned that the salaries may be a bit higher than some other areas, but I know, Hatham, when you and I spoke, you mentioned that your teams in Palestine had really saved your company a lot of money. So maybe you can explain the way that they've been able to do that.
Sure. I think the math for me works at about 3 to 1, 2.5, 3 to 1, 2 to 1, compared to if I was to get the same talent in the US, which, by the way, is almost impossible to get that kind of talent. I'm a small company in Chicago. I'm not in Silicon Valley, and I'm not in Seattle. So it is really difficult to get that level of talent anywhere. And if I get it, it is extremely expensive and not as loyal. Building products like this for a company, you really need the continuity. Switching jobs and switching developers is just destructive. So the cost for me of a developer in Palestine is about 1/3 the cost of that same talent. I'm not talking, you can't compare a senior developer in Palestine with a startup position in here. I mean, we're talking, one of my developers in Palestine is a Fulbright scholar. I mean, he came to the US, did his master's. 2 of them, they worked with us, and then they got, like Tony said, they went out to do their PhD. One of them he was in the news because he got 2 patents for Japan on technology that he built. And this guy was sitting in a cubicle at iConnect, a few years ago. One of them is doing his PhD in artificial intelligence in Germany. These are extremely talented developers, and there's a reason for that. It's my theory. I haven't proved it. But my theory on this is, I'll tell you a quick story. I know we're running out of time, but I was out there in the summer one time, and the Tawjihi, results came out. So I'm sitting in the cafeteria with about 10 or 15 of the developers, we're all having lunch. And it was the Tawjihi day. You guys know about the Tawjihi day, right? That national exam. And I looked around, I said, what were your scores? And the lowest was 97.5. So, and the reason is, in Palestine, like if you're in the US and in one of the top 1%, you're going to end up at Stanford or Berkeley doing some, doing medicine or whatever, some high research. In Palestine, if you're the top 1%, you're going to go to IT. So by definition, you end up with the people that are studying IT in Palestine are the top of the society on the IQ level. Which is, and we're seeing that. Tony said it. I'm telling you, it's not staff augmentation. It is let them do their work, give them the freedom, and they will amaze you every single time.
And I agree with that. Go ahead, Masood.
Please finish it off, and I can go after you. No problem.
Thank you. We're in DC, DC area. Can you mute for a second, Masood? Can you mute? Or can you? Yeah, thank you. We're in DC area, and the talent in DC area, there's a major shortage in IT. We compete with the federal government in DC and others. So clearly from that same ratio Hatham mentioned is the same for us. But on the economic model also comparing we have a large team in India for outsourcing right now and in a couple other places. It's actually a little bit cheaper to do it in Palestine in our experience on the offshore than doing it in India at the moment. And we have both. And that's it. One thing I want to add, Layla, and then I'll stop, is we're actually with the Transcend, we're exploring an internship program. We're starting an internship program at APE, getting fresh talent out of in their third year of college to join different teams as an internship. So this is something we're starting new. I'm very excited about that. We hope to scale it up also, part of the pipeline buildup.
Thank you so much. Masood, I want to give you have 3 minutes, and I really want you to have a chance to answer this question as well, because I think it's important, but we have to have a hard stop at 9:55 so that we can start the next session. So go ahead, Masood, you have the last word.
Absolutely. Thank you. I think my experience, product development is a great opportunity for Palestinian tech community. So if we have products that we want our brothers and sisters back in Palestine to basically help us develop, I think that will be a good route. Staff augmentation eventually might get somewhere too, but I have not gotten a very strong vibe that staff augmentation, a maturity for certain staff augmentation that is available, for example, in places like India and others. That whole infrastructure might not be available in Palestine right now. But I think product management or product development is where the money is. And I think that's, if we can continue to support our community down there and our talent out there too, I think it will be extremely helpful. On top of that too, I think the one specific question around, the economies of, hiring a Palestinian talent. If you're getting quality and you can get work done in a month rather than 2 months, right? That's your payoff right there. That's your total cost of ownership, and that's your return on investment. It's just that simple. And I would say that I personally experienced it. I work in multiple different areas, multiple different groups. I know how many times our projects have lingered for months just because, we just couldn't get things right? I have had not that experience with, my talent in Palestine, and that actually saved me a lot of money too. Back to you, Layla.
So much to all of you. I so appreciate you sharing your stories and your time. Very inspiring, very interesting. You gave us a lot to think about. Please join us for the next session if you can. It's also going to be a great session. It's going to be talking about outsourcing opportunities and the preparing of the talent that you guys will eventually work with one day, hopefully. So thank you so much. And we will get ready for the next session. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.